one practice is enough for to make your English speaking more confident and fluent. So, hi my friends and my seniors, welcome to this important, special, interesting and a very beneficial video. Because guys, today in this video, I'm gonna share my practice that I used to do in my beginning time. Listen to me, the most hard and the most difficult time of the English speaking journey, it is the beginning time, because at that time we can't speak something, we can't understand something, we also don't have stock of words and stock of sentences. So what we should do? Just do what I did. In my beginning time, I did not focus on the grammar rules, on listening, on reading, on speaking or anything. I just did one practice blindly, and I am pretty sure that for only that practice that I did, today I am here speaking in front of you confidently and fluently. But now the question is that what is the practice? The practice that I'm going to share with you that I did, this practice is a several benefits practice. Yes, if you do this practice, then you will get several benefits, several results. Your English speaking skills will develop, your fluency will be very boosted up, and your confidence level it also will grow up, because when you will have a very large amount of vocabulary and you will have a very large amount of sentences and stock of words, stock of sentences, and that obviously your confidence also will very boost up. A very interesting thing it is that if you do this practice, then you don't need to study the grammar rules separately, because this only one practice also will make your grammar more powerful and more strong. So now, what is the practice? Let's talk about it. In this video, I will share the practice, I'll share how to do the practice, and also I will share the benefits of it. But now guys, let's talk about what is the practice is, because if I don't tell you the practice, then you will not understand, and also if you don't understand practice, then how you will practice the practice? And if you don't practice the practice regularly, then how your confidence level, your fluency level, that will boost up. So guys, it is the correct time to show the practice, and this practice is storytelling. Yes guys, but now why it is storytelling? This is the most and also a very big question. But now guys, let's talk about it, that why I also chose the storytelling practice in my beginning time and how it helped me. Just observe that if you want to tell a story, and if you are a beginner, then with only reading the story you will not able to explain the whole story, because you don't have enough words and enough sentences to explain something, to explain a story. So for that reason, you have to take a story and you have to read it. Reading is the first step of this practice. You will read it until you don't get it, until all of the words, all the sentences don't set up in your brain. And after, when you will memorize the whole story, you have to memorize, you have to do some little hard work. Because at the beginning time, if you don't hard work, then in the upcoming time it will be more harder for you and more worse for you. So in this time, if you also just spend your time with reading the story, copying and memorizing all of the words, all of the sentences in your brain, and after that whenever you'll speak it, it will be great. It will be great guys. After memorizing, just speak, just explain. Okay, remember, okay, some words, some sentences, if you do mistake, then it's not a big deal, but you have to just speak it. You have to speak it. You have to just fight with your fear. And which fear is, I fear from mistakes. The most big fear of our life, it is fearing from the mistake. When you will understand that no, if I fear from the mistake, then I'll always fear. And when you will just stop this fear, and when you will say no, mistake is my friend, I'm doing mistake, it's my benefits. I'm doing mistake, it means I'm learning more, I'm getting more, I'm doing something different. There are one kind of people who are not doing anything because for mistake, and there are one kind of people who are doing something but with mistakes. So now just think, which is better? The people who are just sitting, thinking, overthinking, and they're not doing something, or the people who are not overthinking but doing something, taking some steps, taking some risks? Remember, today, all of the mistakes that you will do, after a few days, they are gonna cover up. They will solve. But if you don't do something, then how you will solve something? If you don't solve something, then how you will learn something? So for that reason, storytelling is the best. Do the storytelling. Okay, after memorizing, whenever you will speak some the first half, then the second half, then the third half, and by doing these things, you will see that one day you are able to just explain the whole story, and this process need time. Okay, if you are a beginner and if you're just starting this program and this process in the beginning time, then you have to give it time, because the first story I explained after 2 months of continuous reading. After 2 months, okay, in a month there are like 30 days. So 30, 30, 60 days, I just spent my 60 days with only one story, and that story's name is the healthiest adventure, when I was in class 2. So now just think, okay, in the class 2, a class 2 boy, if he can explain a story, if he can tell a story, then now you also can do the same, and it will be more faster for you, because you already understanding my words. It means you know English. Remember, if you are able to understand words, understand all of the speaking in English, it means you have stock of words and you have stock of sentences in your brain. Only you have to use them. Okay, only you have to use them, you will see a lot of a great difference. So this thing I want only to share with all of you. Okay, now the question is that which story we should practice with. Now this question have a really easy answer, and the answer is any story. Any story. Like, I'll give a very good advice. It is that the story from your textbook. If you are in school, then just take your textbook and start reading. Read the stories and then explain them. Now I know that after the class 7, all of the stories, they also are very hard. Okay, they are very big, with a lot of grammar rules, with a lot of crazy and also new words. For that reason, now you are a beginner, it will be very hard for you. For that reason, I will give you advice. Which advice? In Google, search the moral stories, short moral stories, and Google will recommend you a lot of beautiful short moral stories, motivational stories. Just take the one of the story which you already know in your mother tongue, and then just start the practicing with that story. Okay, and it will be great. It will be great for you. Okay, no one can beat this practice. Now also, which kind of story you also can, like, there are a lot of stories like the tortoise and the rabbit, and also the 5 sons and a villager. There are a lot of stories. I also have explained minimum many stories. I also am not able to count how many stories I have explained and I know in my life. So for that reason, do this practice. It will be very easy, and it's very easy to just tell the story and to read the story. Now people will say that copy is not good for us, but remember, we people in our human being life, we do everything by starting copy. Okay, we just copy and then we learn by copying. Like, you also see the drawing. If you draw, then you will understand. In the drawing time, you need a reference. Okay, without a reference picture, you also, it's very hard for you to just draw. For that reason, that reference, that painting that we are taking as a reference, that is also one kind of copying, because somebody else have drawn this picture very before, but now we are taking that picture and we are doing the same in the picture. So what it means? It means that we are copying the picture. But it's not copying, it means learning. Because in the beginning time, we can't draw something by our brain, by our creativity. For that reason, we draw with the reference, and then slowly, when we also become obsessed with drawing, then we make something by our brain. Like that, singing also, singing, dancing. Now also, if you want to dance, then in the dance class, the dancer, the dance teacher, they will first show you a clip of a dance step and they will teach you that. But what it means also completely they are copying. You are copying because you are copying another dancer dance. But it's not copying, it's learning. And then in the singing also, and you are singing somebody's song. So for that reason, in the speaking in the English also, you should copy, and you need to copy. Now what you will copy, you have to copy the stories. Just remember, if you are very confusing that how I will memorize the whole story, I am not able to memorize one poem of my class, of my school, so you are telling me to copy a very big story. Just remember, if you want, then obviously you can do. If only a boy, an idiot, a stupid boy who is in class 2, if he can remember, if he can memorize a very big 2-page Haldi's Adventure story, then why not you can do? Why not you can do? Only just to do one thing, just forget to copy or memorizing, just read the story daily. Okay, because reading also very helpful. And you are reading, you are memorizing the whole story. It means that you are memorizing, you are just taking all of the words, all of the sentences from that story. And what you think, after explaining the story, all of the words, all of the sentence, they will go, they will return to the story? No, never. They will always be in your brain. Only you have to use them, and when you will learn to use them, then you will see easily you are very able to speak English. Read, and after reading a lot of time, you will see automatically you will able to speak. Do you know how I explained my first story? Reading is different, memorizing is different, but how I explained the one story, just listen the story. One day, when newly I started this practice, then the first story, it was Haldi's Adventure. One day I was sleeping with my father, and at that time I was in class 2. So at that time, suddenly in the night time, the electricity had gone, and then the electricity also gone. It was like one kind of a summer season was going. For that reason, it's very hard to sleep in summer without the fan, without the wind. For that reason, we also were just like passing our time by talking. Then suddenly, my father said to me that what story you were reading recently. At that time, the Haldi's Adventure. And then my father said, how many times you have read this story? I said, I have read this story minimum 100 or 90 times. And then my father said, okay, now you don't need to study, now you say the story to me. At that time I was very like surprised, and how I will tell the story to my father, it's like crazy. At that time my father said, you don't have to say the story, just close your eyes and think about the story. And then I just close my eyes and I just think about the Haldi's Adventure, and instantly the whole story came in front of my eyes. All of the pages, all of the corner of the pages, all of the words, they just came in front of my eyes. At that time I said to my father that, father, I am seeing the whole story. Then he said to me, now explain, now tell the story. And also, I just said the story without seeing the story, without also taking a look of the book. So it was the mind-blowing experience, and do you know how I did it? Because whenever daily we see one thing again and again and again, at that time, when we don't see the thing but we think about the thing, then automatically the thing comes in our brain. So this is the thing that I wanted to share with you. I hope everyone understand and everyone will do this practice. Just do this practice for one story. Do for only one story. Whenever you do for only one story, then you will see that that one story will bring more stories, and you will practice more, and you will just develop your speaking very high. Your confidence level will grow up, because in these stories you also see the grammatical rules, grammatical sentences. So what, you are also just reading them, you are also getting them, and your fluency will develop by the speaking. For to speak English you have to speak English, but in the beginning time what you will speak English, you don't have any kinds of topic to speak. But whenever you will memorize a story, then also you will see that your fluency is also developing. Whenever you will read only one single story for 100 times, for 50 times, I know that 100 sounds very high, but don't worry, only in daily you have to just read the story for 20 times. If you read a story 20 times in a day, then in a week there are 7 days, and if you read the story 20 times for 7 days, then 7 multiplied by 2, it will be 0 140. So now just think, in only 1 week you can read the story 140 times. So what's the big deal? Okay, so just remember and then start. Whenever you will just speak the story, your fluency also will develop. Whenever you will read the same story many times, then automatically you will see that the thing that you are reading, your reading also will be very fast and very clear and very good. For that reason I said that this practice is a several benefited practice. And also there are a lot of benefits. If I start telling the benefits, then the video will be very long. So I will not waste any time, just do this practice and see all of the benefits in your real life. So bye bye to a great, but nothing is little. Thank you for watching. Just remember, like and subscribe for this type of more videos.